Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to dive into Three Eye Atlas once again because this is just fascinating to me. And I know that there are multiple theories out there what this could be. All the way from, this is going to save us all basically, all the way to it doesn't really exist and it's only a part of Project Blue Beam. We're also going to have a look at how this might show up in the chart, right? So what about the babies that are being born now with this in their chart? What is this going to signify? And we're also going to have a look at the countries because right now it is moving, well, it will be soon on October 3rd. It will be moving from the sign of the astronomical sign, the sidereal sign of Libra into Virgo. So if you're using the tropical system, you would have to go back a sign, right? So, or forward a sign, excuse me. So you'd still be using Libra and it would be moving in from Scorpio. But we'll have a look how that will play out for the countries with a Libra or a Virgo rising and see what that might, show or reveal. So exciting times ahead. We live in exciting times, people. And I know these times are turbulent. These times are all over the place. They're hard to navigate. And the only way is to almost look farther into the future. And that gives us a hint of what we're going to be moving through because it's like the plates under our feet keep getting pulled out and pulled away. And we're just running, sprinting. It's go time. So another thing I'd like to say is I just put a video up on the October energies and I kept those very, very positive because I wanted to know what are the positive things that we can focus on. But there were some things that showed up for me for the month of October that I will get into now that I didn't put in that video. So this video is going to be a kind of a catch-all of various different things, but they all tie into the energies. It's a continuation of the energies of October and how they might play out for you. So what I didn't put in is that these portals that are opening through this new energy that is coming in, that is infusing our systems with new codes, new ideas, new concepts, maybe new connections, even who knows, they are also opening up a kind of a portal in consciousness, if you will. And similar to full moons that open up these mini portals, but these are gateways that people or souls choose to walk through, especially at big blood moons, like bigger full moons. And this is a similar time that is coming up in October. So I do see some significant person leaving the stage. Okay. I'm not feeling a politician again. I'm feeling this will be of natural causes, but this may be someone who was in the public eye, who's a celebrity. I do see that light just, yeah, kind of moving, shifting into something else. Another thing that showed up for me was something with the oceans and the water. So I'm not quite sure what that is about, but I'm feeling as some kind of upheaval around oceans or water. This may be due to hurricanes, maybe due to an earthquake. I'm not something to do with the oceans or the water. Okay, this is going to be significant in October in some way, shape, or form. And then that's it. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Those were the things I didn't put in the other video that I was seeing and I was picking up on. And so now we'll just get into it and have a look at where Three Eye Atlas is, what it's doing. And I'll be working with these cards. I got these playing cards for like $5 and I'm totally fascinated with them. They are so cute. These are the 1001 Nights version and they're only half size. I'd never seen cards like this before, so I had to get them. They're perfect to take with you anywhere, everywhere, read cards anywhere on the go. Super light. They're awesome. So I'll be working with these. Okay. So let's have a look at, let me share screen and we'll have a look at AI Atlas for the Three Eye Atlas. I keep saying AI Atlas for some reason. So there's a slip, some kind of a slip that's happening there. Freudian maybe. And, we'll have a look at what's going on. So there are many things around comets in astrology. Like when you research how to interpret comets in a chart, most times you're going to run up with this. These are harbingers of significant events in the charts of leaders or in the charts of people that are in a position of authority or somehow stand out, but also for countries, right? So usually astrologers look at the rising sign and look at how that comet affects that rising sign to see what is this country going to experience. So there are many different things. There's also the theory that a comet represents something that comes out of the deep subconscious, whether out of the collective subconscious or the personal subconscious. And so we'll have a little bit of a look at that when I do the reading on what it's doing in the sign of Virgo or Libra. And of course, eventually, whatever's in the subconscious needs to be faced, needs to be worked on, worked through, looked at in order to be brought into awareness, in order to be transmuted, transformed, and elevated into knowing or not. I don't know anymore. I don't know anything anymore, you guys. That's another thing. I've moved away from I know this and I know that and dogmatizing everything. I don't know, like I'm an open vessel and I'm ready to receive and I'm ready to always learn and grow. And yeah, I don't know. So let's have a look and see what Three Eye Atlas is up to. And so we will have a look at this. Yay! That's our inner solar system. Yay! So I can zoom out and woo, far out. Okay. So there's Pluto, as you guys can tell. And as I zoom in further and further and further and further and further, and let's shift it like this, you can see here Three Eye Atlas, and it's on its way to rendezvousing with Mars. So it's a tight flyby of Mars. This is like and this is what a lot of scientists are saying. In when you're looking to calculate such a trajectory, when you're looking to throw something through this narrow passageway, it is so out of the ordinary. It is so extraordinary. It is so the odds are against this actually ever happening in this way that something can fly by that closely to the planet and not get sucked in by it. And but also fly by these other planets here on the inner side, which are Venus and what is that? Mercury, right? So we see Mercury here, Venus, and the Earth over here. So it's getting a good look at the inner workings of our solar system. And what was also unusual in the last couple of weeks are that several other comets all came in. So there were about 5 or 6 comets that were coming in towards our sun all at the same time. And we see here several have already flown past through our system, but there are 3 more that are still flying in. One of them that is also kind of, that scientists are looking at or seem to be looking at is the R2 Swan. So that's another comet, by the way, that is also glowing greenish, but they found the elements needed to create the green glow within that comet, but they haven't found the elements for the green glow with Three Eye Atlas. So it is what it is. So we see here how close it's flying by Mars, and this is yay. And then it's going to fly behind the sun. From our perspective, it's behind the sun. And so the lineup will be Three Eye Atlas at its perihelion, which is the end of the month on October 29th, approximately. Our moon will still be here from October 21st is the new moon. So October 29th, it's still somewhere around here. So the lineup of the bodies, celestial bodies, is going to be Three Eye Atlas, the sun, the moon, and Earth in a almost straight line here. Okay. And, I wonder what's going to be spoken at that table because last time, like I said in the video I did before on Three Eye Atlas in 2017, it was a year we had Hurricane Harvey, which almost destroyed, it did destroy significant parts of the US. We had the Mexico City earthquake. We had hurricanes Irma and Maria, I believe, which ripped through the Caribbean. And these were on a significant scale. So there is some kind of reaction from our Earth to these planetary bodies, even though they fly by at a distance that is not supposed to affect us. And Oumuamua didn't wasn't even the size of Three Eye Atlas. So we all don't know what's going to happen, but I think it's safe to say something. Well, there was also a significant increase in political activity around that time. So we get restless. Okay, we get restless. So there's something coming in here that is likely to, I feel, elevate us. I hope, trigger us to elevation, trigger us to reflection, self reflection, and choice, and not into reactivity. I'm going to visualize that. Okay. So Three Eye Atlas is going to cruise through here. You can see on its trajectory path. And as it does so, of course, it's moving through signs. So right now it's hanging around in the astronomical or sidereal sign of Libra. And as you guys know, because of the precession of the equinoxes, we are about 23.5 degrees off with our Western astrology as to what is actually in the sky. So the signs that we work with are one sign behind, right? So, or ahead as you as you choose to see it, whatever direction you're floating in. So even though it's going through the sign right now of Libra, you would be reading it as the sign of Scorpio. Okay. And in tropical astrology. So as you guys know, not saying anything you guys don't know. Anyways, so zoom back out again. And what's significant also, I read about Three Eye Atlas, amongst all the other things that are kind of anomalies, which make it an interstellar object of unknown and question marks, is that its tail, it finally developed a comet's tail. And is curiously enough, it felt to me once it finally developed that comet's tail that it was like slowing down. It's like braking. It's like getting a little bit slower. It doesn't seem to be actually, but that's the way it felt to me. And the comet's tail usually floats behind it, right? And this one goes in front of it. So it's going towards the sun, apparently. That's the direction it's pointing. And so if I could turn it, I'd turn this little thing towards the sun. Whereas you can see with the other ones, it's away from the sun, right? So that's another little anomaly, but whatever, right? So let's have a look. Three Eye Atlas. First off, what is it? And is it even, does it have a role to play or significance? Is this something that is actually a body, and what is it bringing? And the three cards that came out are, ooh, it is real. So we've got the Three of Diamonds. We've got the Queen of Hearts. This is the feeling I'm getting. I tell you guys, there's something really light about it. It's exciting. And the Two of Hearts. So the Two of Hearts, Queen of Hearts, Three of Diamonds, all red, all positive. So as you guys know, with playing cards, we start off with the colors and then we move through the numbers and then we move through all of it, right? So what it's saying to me here is that this is absolutely positive. It's not a and what it's also saying to me is that there is a possibility of connection with the Two of Hearts. So because there's a possibility of connection, that means there has to be space for intention. And because there's space for intention, that means there has to be space for willpower. And because there's space for willpower, there has to be space for consciousness. Yes. So we have something here which is really interesting. The Queen of Hearts is also indicative of um, positivity, right? This open-heartedness, this love, this, if you can call it that. But there's nothing malevolent about this. I'm not picking that up. They're not, like I said before, I believe that this is something more than a comment, even though it may be denigrated to that in the coming days, weeks, months. But I don't think that's what it is. That's not what I'm picking up. And I'm picking up a very benevolent energy around it. And there's the Three of Diamonds. And the Three of Diamonds can indicate like a working together, a cooperation, but this is a benevolent little group. So there's things start moving in a positive direction here. Mm. The three of diamonds can also mean agreements, contracts where, a third party is present, a witnessing of something, a seeing of something. So there can be some kind of an interaction that is happening, some kind of a contract that is coming together at this time. This may even be a time of, I'm going to put it out there. I don't know, but it may even be a time of multiple groups coming together to negotiate something, right? To agree upon something, and these might be Earth groups, these might be interstellar groups. I don't know, but it just feels like everybody's sitting at a table and negotiating and agreeing upon something. There's a consensus. Okay. So let's dive in and see what else is coming up here. And I want to have a look at what does this mean for children? What does this mean for the babies that are being born right now? Like Rihanna just had her baby girl. So what's in her chart, right? With this body in the sign of right now, still in the sign, the sidereal sign of Libra. So it's in Scorpio. So we're going to have a look at what that means. Actually, you know what? To stop confusion, I'm just going to read the sidereal sign. So where it's actually at in the sky. Personally, I just prefer that. Okay. So in the sign of Libra, where it's at right now, the end stages of Libra, what was it doing there? Or what effect will it have on us? What effect does it have on the earth in the sign of Libra? Ooh, okay. Okay, this is interesting. Yeah. Okay. So we've got okay, now it now it all makes sense. I'll show you guys something in a second. So we've got the Queen of Spades, which is wisdom, as we know, someone who's on their own, independent, wise, but can also be cutting. Yeah. We've got the King of Clubs, so someone who's hardworking, who gets out there, who's motivated, intentional, moving, sporty, connected, business person, but not like the King of Diamonds. That's a little different energy, but we have here the Six of Diamonds, which can also indicate slow growth, slow agreements, a slow coming together. What I'm feeling, because I want to do it like this, is because I felt like a transition of power, okay? An agreement to a transition of power. And as I thought that, because that came in immediately as I saw these three cards, I felt like looking into that Gen Z overthrow in Nepal, okay? Because let me see, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, and let me share this with you again as well. So, one second here. Let me think I jumped ahead. No, that's not what I want. That's what I want. Okay. So here we have Nepal. And this is on this website that randomly popped up for me when I was looking at the rising signs of countries and the signs of countries and its zodiac signs and national freedom dates. So for Nepal, the sign apparently is Libra. If you look at the Republic Day here. And Kathmandu. The moon sign was Aquarius and the ascendant was given at Capricorn, something like that. But it's interesting because as Three Eye Atlas was in the sign of Libra, the sidereal sign of Libra, Nepal went through that overthrow where it just, Gen Z went in, under some significant losses, they overthrew their government, burned down the parliament buildings, and reinstalled a prime minister, a female, their first female prime minister after. So that's interesting that that happened when Three Eye Atlas was in that sign. It's almost as if it stands in for no more nonsense, no more BS, no more fooling yourself, no more fooling others, no more denial, denial, like it's all out the window. It's this is what it is. This is the experience that we're having, and this is what we're going to do to change it. So it doesn't seem to tolerate illusions, if you know what I mean. It kind of breaks through it. And so I had another look at the other countries, and the only countries that really popped up to look at are Israel and France, which are also going something through something as they both have a Virgo rising. And Ukraine apparently in some charts is listed as Virgo, so I'll include it, but in other charts they're not listed as Virgo. So um and I found that interesting that these three countries are all going through a little something, something. So we'll start off with France, move into Israel, and end with Ukraine, and how this three eye atlas is going to affect them or the experiences there as it moves through the sign of Virgo. Okay, so France, please. France and three eye atlas. And we've got the five of clubs. Five of clubs. So the five of clubs can indicate an expansion of the market area, right? So new alliances, new agreements, new connections, new deals are being struck and being made. Things are being revisited and are being restructured, okay? And on the bottom of the deck, the last card here is the King of Clubs. So this is someone who's extremely in a position, like I said before, of making decisions, someone who's a business person, but someone who's a little bit inspirational or gets things done, gets things moving, has a lot of energy that propels him forward and behind him. So we've got these two together. And underneath, behind the King of Clubs, underneath the Five of Clubs, we've got the Nine of Spades. Now, this is now, this is quite interesting because we all know the Nine of Spades is indicative. It's kind of like the Nine of Swords. So it's the I'm scared card, I'm afraid card. This is a lot of effort being expended into something that's not really giving back. Um, it also is this feeling of blockage, this hesitation of moving ahead, moving into something. So it does feel as if somebody's hesitating, okay? Because it was underneath the Five of Clubs. So there's a hesitation here. There's a hesitation that this person is encountering from others, possibly to enter into new business deals. So while these are being made and being done and being talked about, the other parties that France is trying to do these deals with or these negotiations or connections, they seem to be hesitating to fully step into it or to fully agree to it or to fully show up in some way. There's a fear that he's pushing ahead of himself as well. Okay, so people are seeing his vulnerabilities and it's not really working in his favor. We all know what's happening with France. We all know what's happening with Macron. We all know the difficulties that France is currently facing. And it's feeling as if I don't even know how to put this into words, so I'll pull another card. Please show me. Please show the feeling. Because there definitely feels as if there's some kind of, yeah, see, here we are. The Five of Spades and the Two of Hearts, right? So there's this deep hesitation. The Five of Spades is another card that has to do with betrayal, that has to do with backstabbing, that has to do with being double crossed. So there's a deep game that is being played behind the scenes here. And it has to do with one of the friendships, with one of the partners of France. Okay. So this is not with an open enemy that these games are being played. This is with one of the partners of France. And there's some kind of a double crossing or a double game that is being played. And this is going to come to a head or out in the open in some way, shape, or form, or be exposed or have some kind of an impact throughout the month of October. So just like it came to a head in Nepal, where Gen Z overthrew a government that they saw as being corrupt, that they saw as being uncarryable into the future, similar is going to happen around France and her connections or the connections that she's connected to. There's something that is more real that is coming in for France. So on the one hand, it's kind of dicey because how it's going to play out and how it's going to unfold. But on the other hand, it's looking from a bigger perspective or an after perspective. It's something that's going to lead to something bigger, beautiful, and a greater good for France in the long run. Okay, so moving forward, having a look at Israel. Israel is another one with a Virgo rising, apparently. So, what's Three Eye Atlas going to be doing there? What is the Three Eye Atlas in Virgo going to be doing there? Oh, okay. We're having a lot of changes, guys. Remember, fives represent changes. Fives represent shifts, changes, additional energy into a stable container of the four. And additional energy comes in and destabilizes until it harmonizes again in the six. Okay. So the five of hearts is what's showing up for Israel, along with the seven of spades. And the Five of Hearts is interesting because, again, this is broken heart, this is disappointment, this is great grievance, this is immense suffering, this is all of that, right? And the Seven of Spades, however, can indicate several things. Number one, deception, self-deception. It can also indicate in some card reading systems, it indicates black magic, the black magician. In some card reading systems, it indicates loss or a grievance. So this is a lot of loss. This is a lot of grievance, and it's pretty dark together. These two together pairing. Okay, what else is coming up for Israel here? We've got the Six of Hearts. They're going to be forced to negotiate. Okay, so that's what I'm picking up here. There's forced to with the Six of Hearts. This is a good outcome, right? This is a coming together, a harmonizing of the energies, and the Four of Spades indicates restful peace. So it's kind of a peace without a peaceful outcome, if you know what I mean. It's like an argument and they're finally told to shut up and sit down. But they do that not because they've come to an insight or a recognition, but because they're forced to. Okay. So that seems to what is going to be the outcome of this situation there. It feels as if a significant step in that direction is going to be made in October. It won't fully be happening in October, that peace is in this area, but a step in that direction where they're kind of forced to have a look at, okay, what's it seriously going to look like to end this? Okay. And what is seriously going to have to be in place, or what's seriously going to have to happen to end this? And that's going to be the outcome. Now, another thing that came up for Israel is the Ace of Spades. So this is the card when you're reading playing cards. This is the darkest card in the deck. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. Okay, so let's see here. What else was I going to look at? Ukraine. Ukraine, and let's have a look. Ukraine. Three Eye Atlas and the workings. We've got the Four of Clubs, which indicates also a working together, a willingness to work together to come to a resolution. We're seeing that repeated here in the Three of Spades, that the willingness to work together is there, but the Three of Spades is indicative that it's likely not going to work out. And this is the only, I do work with the Joker in the playing card decks. So the Joker is coming out where it's up in the air. It's still undecided in what direction the cards will fall. So that one's still undecided. Okay, but there is, as I look at those cards, with the Three of Swords, Three of Spades in there, there's a continued disappointment. There may have been an effort, or there may be an effort in October to negotiate the situation or start again, but it will be disappointing. It won't lead to the success that is sought. And it feels like the Joker, like where to next, is up in the air, because at some point something's got to give. This can't continue like that. Okay, so that's that, you guys, for having a look at around the globe and how this is going to work out with Three Eye Atlas in the sign of Virgo. I'm hoping that, generally speaking, that's the last one I wanted to do, is generally speaking what Three Eye Atlas will be doing in the sign of Virgo and how that might work out in your own chart. So, looking at this aspect of Virgo in your life, what house is it in? And seeing how Three Eye Atlas may be affecting that. So, for example, I had a, how should I even begin to explain this? But my sign of Libra is in the eighth house, and my Virgo is in the seventh house. So it's moving from my eighth house of esoteric, unconscious stuff, right? And all of that into the seventh house. And long story short, let's just say that in the eighth house, it's brought me blessings. And it's brought in the capacity of my life. It's brought a big initiation and helped me move into a deeper understanding, a next level of something significant. So, in the seventh house that it's now moving into, I'm excited to see what it's going to do there. But it feels very, 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 very optimistic. Okay, optimistic. So, let's see. Three Eye Atlas in the sign of Virgo. What is it doing there? What's it happening? What's happening? What's happening? Three Eye Atlas in the sign of Virgo, please. Three Eye Atlas in the sign of Virgo, and four cards came out. We've got the Two of Diamonds, the Queen of Diamonds. Wow. Okay. The Eight of Diamonds, and the King of Spades. Wow. Quite interesting, you guys. So it feels as if there's a lot of stability coming in here. With the Eight of Diamonds, this is indicative of positive forward movement in your career, career growth, career stability, career and elevation in your career. The Queen of Diamonds is, of course, mastering your craft, networking. The Two of Diamonds, partnerships, agreements, new beginnings that are positively moving forward. And you've got this King of Spades. So this mentorship, this wisdom, this backing, but also for some of you, it's moving away from the old constructs, right? Of limitation, repression, oppression, all of that negativity, fear, anxiety, using those tactics to gain certain outcomes and moving more into this one, right? So freedom, liberation, stability at the same time, but stability coupled with joy instead of stability coupled with anxiety, stability coupled with openness instead of stability coupled with fear, right? Of loss or not being able to maintain. So this is a great time. Like I said in my last video on October and the times ahead, this is a fantastic time if you're going to start something new to start it with the energetic imprint of Three Eye Atlas in your chart. Okay. Because this is always going to open something up, keep a door open, keep a portal open, keep a wide open gateway to something new in your chart, a new aspect of life. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Mwah. Take care. Bye. Can't wait to read your comments. Take care. Bye.